All right, let's try this again. You're live. Great. Great. I want to hear how it sounds. Fuck. All right, I turned it off. Did we crash? Did we crash?
Tormenting me once more.
No, everything seems okay. All right. Y'all are just gonna have to fucking tell me how I sound. And here's why the last stream crashed. So YouTube, after this bullshit that they're up. No, don't you goddammit hummus me. Don't you goddammit hummus me. Let me explain. After YouTube did all this shit with ad blockers, you can't have ad blockers on YouTube anymore. Well, when it starts playing an ad for me while I'm streaming, trying to just listen and make sure the audio quality and the video quality is okay, it plays an ad, it assumed the stream was done. And I'm like, how does that work? How did you do that? And it's like, did you enjoy your stream? I'm like, no, it was 20 seconds long, you fucking idiot. Oh, but you switched videos. You switched away from your own. You're watching an ad now. Yeah, you made me watch an ad. I didn't want to watch an ad. I didn't do 20 seconds of a stream. I was like, we're good. We're done. I'll watch some ads now for fun, you fucks. I used to have ad block on, and you turned that off. But it looks like you turned that off without checking what it would do to, like, other parts of your program. Other parts where streamers have ads turned off for some reason. Your ad blocker's working fine? Well, the one I used to use now is, if you're trying to use it, the YouTube videos won't play at all, and it'll just say, like, we've detected an ad blocker, blah, 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 blah. Bro got one-upped by an ad? It's great. It's glorious. uBlock Origin goes bare. Yeah, I just had, I have AdBlock Pro through Google Chrome. But now here's the fucked up part. Okay. So I've paused the stream as soon as I got here, but I had to make a new one. AdBlocker Plus. What up? Alright, I'll let people gather for a second. No, not my streaming software. This one is entirely on YouTube. This one is entirely on YouTube. Alright. While I let you people gather, I'm gonna have to just start using this like creator hub instead of the main page. Anyway, what can y'all see? Okay, so the Photoshop's there, it's fine. Let's do the introduction. Enough people have gathered for now. Boy. Oh boy. Okay, but this page doesn't update the same as my other one. I don't like it. Anyway, today, what do we have? We're gonna have a jank-ass event. Jank-ass event because there was a hot fix. Patch 4.0.9.7.3. Patch 4.1 is nowhere to be found. It does not exist. Error 404, patch not found. But hot fixes can still destroy replays. Now, I checked over a lot of these, and they seem okay. Okay is the word we're going to pick. The players left to tell me if the game's played out remotely close to what we end up watching. But we started an event, we're going to finish it, goddammit. We're not going to redo the whole thing. And I think only 1 or 2 of these replays we're going to watch are on the current patch, which shows you how close we were to being done before the hotfix came in and fucked it all up. But we persevere. We don't give up. We don't sweep these things under the rug and just pretend they never happened, because fuck that. And I just got demonetized, but whatever. This is our faction face-off. It's an event we run every once in a while. The next one will be after patch 4.1, unless by, well, oh, that's awkward, because if it's not out by 2 weeks from now, then if I start an event, it's for sure going to come out in the middle of it. Whatever. So the next one we'll do is after patch 4.1. What it is we take 2 teams of people who are thematically linked. Like on the right-hand side are defending champions from the last couple streams, the Undead. It is 6 players all playing as Undead factions. Vampire Coast, Tomb Kings, and Vampire Counts. Right? I gotta pull up a thing where I can see your chats and whatever. Why is it buffering? Is it actually buffering or are we fine? I'd like to know. I'm on this like shitty little... Look at this. I'm on this shitty little streamer screen and this thing's buffering. So now I have no idea what you're all looking at. And normally, I'm just on the YouTube page with the rest of you. But I don't want to do that because when I get mad, it crashes. So that's cool. That's exciting. I'm very, very excited this is happening midstream. Anyway. Yeah, so the right side, defending champions, the Undead. On the left side are the Moneybags. I just told people that wanted to play a faction. I said, hey, pick a faction that makes some goddamn bank. So we have, in campaign, right? We have Malice Moneyblade from Hag Grafe. He technically starts with 2 cities, and one of his cities has that iron mine, so I guess I'll accept it. Tretch Swaggertail. Tretch Craventail in campaign has a starting city that gives 500 gold per turn, which is insane. The building does. Greasus Goldbags. Greasus Goldtooth. Don't really need to explain that one. Henrietta, the Exalted Keeper of Slaanesh. Slaanesh does make tons of gold, and they're all about greed and excess and stuff, so that works. Fat Kid at Recess piloting Robert Baron, the Hashut Lord for the Chaos Dwarves, because Robber Barons, it was a good, fun play on words. We like it. We like it. And then coolest guys, Bulge Chunkles of the Life Slan. And the Lizardmen are quite famous for having heaping piles of gold in their cities. All right. All the games are already played, so let's get started on this. Where am I starting? Malice Darkblade and Celostra. Yes. So that is Regent of the Tides, Tilda Swinton versus Malice Moneybags. The players were told they could bring a legendary lord or a common lord. But if they bring a common lord, they have to name them. And then some of them had so much fun naming that they just gave special names to their other characters anyway. I'm now concerned. Did we crash or anything? It's taking forever to load. Alright, we're good. God, I'm paranoid now. Alright. For the Vampire Coast, we have Scurvy Dogs, some Mourngulls. Looks like 3 Scurvy Dogs, 1 Mourngull. The Lamprey's Revenge, Rotting Promethean, Gunnery Mob, Regiment of Renown. Then 3 Animated Hulks, 2 Bombers, and then a front line of pistols with a back line of handguns to back them up. Slosher Deerfawn on foot. Fog of the Damned, Tide Call, and Ghosts of the Past. The Ghost of the Past is the Bretonnian Knight summon. On the other side, for the Dark Elves, we have 2 Dark Rider repeater crossbows on one flank, 2 on the other, so 4 total. 4 Harpies, one of which is the Crows of Cain, then a front line of Bleak Swords, Malice Darkblade, a Firecaster with just Burning Head, and then some Dread Spears, and 4 Dark Riders in the back. Repeater crossbows are not going to be good in this matchup at all, unfortunately. The Vampire Coast has way too much standing shooting that outranges them, and even their front line can often have fire at will and fireball moving. So it's just really hard for Skirmish Cav to get much value into the Vampire Coast, unless you kept them super safe to hyper late game kill crabs. When it comes down to just crabs or something, that'd be fine. But yeah, 4 Skirmish Cav is an awful lot to try and protect versus a faction that is so much shooting. Already one of the Dark Riders is routing, another one is going to be chased off by dogs. On the other side, dogs also found their way onto 1, and this one is wandering up, but more dogs are going to run out and catch him. Yeah. Slaanesh has wandered out. She's just annoying some weak swords, immediately terror routes them, and the guns continue to fire. The Dark Elf front line is taking a lot of damage, and so are their skirmish cavalry. One of the repeater crossbows is already routing over here. The other is close to it, and on the far side, 2 more are getting out of here. Malice, of course, is going to try and carry as hard as he usually does. Sorceress of Fire. She did something. Oh, there's the Burning Head. It killed an entire bomber unit. Ouch. And it tickled this handgun mob a bit. Oh, that's a regular mob. Pistol mob. Still. Tickled the shit out of them. Dogs chasing off all those skirmish cav. There's only one left that's not routing, and it's at like 1/3 HP. This pistol mob will get attacked in the back by harpies, but Morgul's are nearby. If they feel like it, they could peel those guys off, probably. Probably. Oh, what's the thing called? Don't know why I'm forgetting it. Murderous Prowess and Murderous Mastery is pop for the whole army, but the Coast have a ton of guns left uncontested. Mortars are still firing. Slostra's full HP, and it is quickly becoming the Can Malice kill this entire army show, as 2 Dark Riders and a Dread Spear are all caught up on this Night Summon and getting hit with mortars, getting shot in the face. Another Burning Head will come through and do some decent damage. Did it get canceled? Oh, she must have got knocked over or something. It did get canceled. Fog of the Damned, lowering the leadership and slowing the attacks of the Dark Riders. Damn Knights Errant will fade away in just a second. It's not that it'll really matter that much. Dark Elves are looking a little doomed. Dark Riders running away. Lamprey's Revenge, still full HP. Kind of hanging out near Solastra. She's a nice piece of terror to help them out, but also they're really good bodyguards for her, especially when she's on foot. Then it's just super hard to actually get into her. And then if you do, you're surrounded by Lamprey's Revenge. Malice is fighting the Black Spot, who are hybrid halberds. They'll do okay versus him. But he'll probably have to transform soon because army losses is coming in hot for those Dark Elves. I'll play fast forward quick because this is looking like a foregone conclusion at this point. Malice is the only one left. He does transform before army losses is going to hit. And I don't think he can kill literally everything before dying, especially with the Black Spot teeing off onto him now. Fights Slaughter for a bit, but that is going to be GG. There was a lot of disruption for this Dark Elf build, but it had a hard time actually getting back to the stuff it wanted to disrupt. And then the Skirmish Cav, as we discussed, had a really hard time doing anything in this game. So, yeah. A toughie. A toughie. Black Spot did amazingly. After the handgun buffs, the handgun mobs always do pretty darn well. Animated Hulks and Dogs got to chase down a bunch of Skirmish Cav and stuff. This map is shit? I don't think the map is shit. It seems like a fine map. Alright. So that one's done. Delete the replay so I don't cast it again. Go to the Photoshop. And paintbrush. First of our Fallen is Malice Darkblade. I just need to check something quick. I'm getting some lag spikes here and there in my computer actions, so I'm worried something's going to happen. But it's doing fine. I'm using 1% of my disk, 1% of my network, 30% of CPU, 30% of GPU, 60% of memory. So I don't know. I guess it's just jank sometimes. What's our next one? Tretch Swaggertail versus Mr. Vane Go, Vlad von Karstein. Alright, I found it. And I remember this one. I remember a bit of this one. I watched it on ×3 speed to make sure the replays technically worked and who I know wins. And I remember a certain thing happening that was a little strange. And since we have Wing Destro in chat, Wing Destro, I'm very curious if the replay is corrupted. or If we had that right, you'll see what I mean in a second. All right. So for the Skaven, we have Tretch Craventail. He's got Verminous Valor, Standard Die, the good shit, Treacherous Raiders, Lucky Skullhelm. We have some Storm Vermin, 3 Warp Fire Throwers, a single Poison Wind Border, 2 Warp Lightning Cannons, a whole bunch more Clan Rats, and some Rat Ogres. Is bold. It is very bold. On the other side, for Vlad, Zombies and Skeleton Warriors for all of the infantry. We do have some Black Knights, Varix Reavers, plus another Black Knights, Lances, and Barding, 2 Vargulfs, a Corpse Cart, and Vlad von Karstein himself. Tretch spawns in the Vanguard, and he immediately gets move orders forward. Did this happen in the actual game? Why is he running at them? Tretch! Tretch, please! Alright, he starts to go back. Again, I watched this at ×3 speed to make sure that the replay was alright. I didn't actually watch, like, for content. I don't know what happens. I just know he's silly. Oh, there's a Doom Wheel! Sneaky Doom Wheel! Alright, Sneaky Doom Wheel is in. Sneaky Doom Wheel plows through some zombies, doing tens of damage. You forgot the Storm Vermin? I said there's a Storm Vermin Halberd up here. They're chilling. Oh, there's a Dire Pack in the back. That's exciting. Alright, Vargeist that I also didn't see. Everybody deployed really wide, apparently. Dive onto the Doom Wheels. The Doom Wheel's gonna have a bad time. And Tretch is out there, man. He's out there. Zombies try to cluster up on him, and then they quickly get hit with a bunch of globes. From the Poison Wind Mortars, of course. Corpse Cart's down to below half HP from the Warp Lightning Cannons. This Doom Wheel is having a bad time. He's like, please, let me go. And Tretch starts fighting Vlad. So that's the thing I saw at ×3 speed, where Tretch just runs out to 1v1 Vlad. And I'm like, bro, why? You have Tretch's Raiders. It buffs melee units around you, but not when you're like all fucking alone. Tretch! Tretch, get back to your spot! Doom Wheel's still trying to wade through infinite zombies. Tretch is 1v1ing Vlad like a goddamn maniac. Warp Fire Throwers are killing Skeleton Throwers. So far, this has been a pretty normal fucking game. This happens every VC versus Skaven game. I love seeing Tretch 1v1 Vlad for his life. Master Beguilement's out, giving him 0 melee attack! And he terror outs! Tretch is like, you know what, fuck this, I'm out. Doom Wheel's still trying to escape. Mortars are still pounding some zombies, and Warp Fire Throwers are killing anybody who advances upon them, doing a little bit of damage to these Skeleton Warriors. Not as much as you'd like. Warlock Engineer fires out a Doom Rocket. It does nothing. Funny enough, I have a Doom Rocket in tomorrow's video release. Tretch gets saved from Vlad by the Warp Lightning Cannon. And he should run. He should run for his little ratty life. He does not. Takes a big old slap to the face. Anyway, back in the Skaven lines, the Dire Pack are diving in to try and take out the Warp Lightning Cannons, backed up by some Varix Reavers. Also getting in, but Rat Ogres should make quick work of them. And Warp Fire Throwers are even lobbing some shots into the backfield. The fire doesn't even hit the ground before it dissipates. But they're trying to help. They got it in spirit. Tretch is now running once again from Vlad, but a Vargulf is going to chase him down. It looks like Vlad has no more time for this nonsense. Doomwheel has been here forever, which is honestly admirable. Good job, Doomwheel. You're holding them back. You're doing your darned best. And Skaven have lost 130 troops. The Vampire Counts have lost about 700. So really, if you're keeping score, Skaven are winning. Vlad's getting shot by some more Lightning Cannons. It's doing okay damage on his way out. Tretch is still getting chased around by the Vargulf, and this Vargulf sprints straight into Warp Fire Throwers that do okay-ish damage onto him, and then they will get pulled into the melee. Rat Ogres fighting back against Varix Reavers and the other Black Knights is going pretty well. One Warp Lightning Cannon is still online and still trying to punish Vlad on the assault. Zombies and Skeleton Spearmen are slowly making their way through the front line, though the Warp Fire Throwers firing at point-blank range, doing very, very little damage. I hate warp fire throwers. Someone recently was trying to talk to me. Actually, two different people gave me the same take, but they were saying that, like, warp fire throwers are good against greenskins, and I just have not noticed them doing nearly enough damage, as we might be seeing here. Fuck warp fire throwers, man. I don't know what happened. They were a bad unit, and then a couple patches ago they were okay, and then they became a terrible unit, and I don't know what happened. Zombies and skeletons are getting cleared out. The Skaven are actually pretty effectively taking care of all that chaff, but Vlad has found his way onto the Warlock Engineer. Now the Warlock Engineer is already terror routing. And the Counts, while having very little infantry left, still have 2 Vargulfs. They still have Vlad, and they still have 2 Black Knights. And there's a Vargeist over there. There we go. So they don't need chaff. Vlad could summon all the chaff they need with his zombie summons. Oh, he didn't bring zombie summons. All right, Vampire Counts are fucked. All right, Winged Destro. I accept your explanation. Tretch was actually a good distraction. I think he finally died, but yeah, he was a good distraction for a while. There's poor little Tretch. That actually makes me sad, just seeing a Vargulf hover over Tretch like that. Still, it was bold, and I appreciated it. Warp fire throwers still suck. I don't know why. I don't know how they got worse, but they did. They did. I also tried to use them in the last faction face-off versus Vampire Coast, and they did no damage. At all. Good job to Rainy Frog. Black Knights did okay. Vargeist took a very long time to kill the Doom Wheel. That was kind of hilarious. GG. GG. Gotta get the Photoshop back up before I go into the thing. Alright. Tretch Swagger Tail is destroyed. But fear not, my friends. He was very cool. Yeah. Okay. I remember this one too. Yeah. Alright. Will the Undead win another faction face-off? Maybe. So, Pegaz, I'm probably going to refer to him as Lucinia. Because that's how I know him on my Discord. Lucinia brought the Ogres with Greasus Goldtooth at the helm. Big old Grease. Horde Master, bunch of leadership. Damage resistance and ITP for everybody around him. Stand your ground and everyone has their price. Cool. Then he brought a Slaughter Master, the Great Maul, with just the heal. For his army, he brought a bunch of Gnoblars, Ogre Bulls, 2 Man-Eaters with great weapons, 2 Man-Eater Ogre Pistol variants, one of which is the Powder Guts, and then some Gnoblar Trappers. Greetings from Egypt. I want to clarify that the fix of FXXA instead of MSA mostly helps with blurring those some things like fur jaggy edges. IDK, why they changed it from armor too. Yeah. Well, I am personally preferring the less blur when shit moves around than slight visual clarity on fur. So yeah, that tip's been very helpful overall. On the other side, we have Manfred von Karstein with Zombie Summon, Healing, and Spirit Leech. Then we have a Corpse Cart, a Mortis Engine, Skeleton Spearmen, 2 Cairn Wraiths, a bunch more Zombies and Skeleton Warriors, and then double Blood Knight. Cool. I will warn you, this is the replay out of the ones that I checked that was definitely scuffed. So if you see some weird stuff, you're hallucinating. We're all having a together hallucination, and I'll tell you at the end what went down. Anyway, Gnoblar's sprinting out to meet the Skeleton Spearmen as Gnoblar Trappers and Man-Eater Pistols continue to fire in. The Man-Eater Pistols are actually going to punish the Mortis Engine for a bit, which is a solid target until the Blood Knights come into range. The Mortis Engine does have to be kept on a leash, but I imagine it'll just walk away and heal up, which is fine. It is what it is. As long as you keep the Mortis Engine away from your front line for as long as possible, then you'll be fine. Manfred is approaching, and he's going to get shot by the Powder Guts for a little bit. More pokey pokes. He can heal up himself just fine, but you're going to have to tax his health either way. The Ogre's front line might start to falter now as the Blood Knights charge into Noblars, whose leadership is failing already. Man-Eaters with great weapons are on the flanks, which we probably need them to just be shadowing the Blood Knights wherever they go. So this extra Man-Eater will now pull forward and hopefully fight the Blood Knights. Powder Guts are under attack by zombies. They literally don't care at all. And Greasus now has the first Spirit Leech out. But his Over Tyrant's Crown plus the Horde Master is really helping these Noblars stay in the fight. Noblars with ITP and +8 leadership, then a +16 leadership from Stand Your Ground. And they ain't going nowhere. Greasus is the tech. He's great. Mortis Engine taking a lot of damage. It's already down to 1/5 HP and falling as the Powder Guts and other pistols are on top of it. It can't get out of range in time, so they're going to need to just try and do something. It looks like Manfred plus the Blood Knights are making a desperate play at the backfield to try and take out those pistols before they can finish the Mortis Engine itself. And the pistols are going to retarget onto Manfred. I wish there was a Burning Head here. Burning Heads down the line of Undead is maybe the most satisfying thing you can do in any game ever. I just love it. Anyway, something's happening here. Zombie summon from one side, and Troll Guts overcast onto the Man-Eaters from the side of the Ogre Kingdoms. Middle fight is a giant blob. Unfortunately, the Ogres did not have any spells to clear this out, like the Great Maw or Burning Head or anything like that, so they are forced to just grind it out. They're probably charging up a lot of army pass, so I wouldn't be shocked to see a Butcher in the next couple seconds here. Yeah, because the Vampire Counts have already lost 600 troops. Mortis Engine still pretty low, but technically still around for now, and these Man-Eaters are currently getting eaten alive by the Mortis and by the Blood Knights and by Manfred, plus Zombie Spears. That's just too much for them, and they get going, taking a lot of damage on the way out. Other Man-Eaters are still fighting, though if we actually follow their models, they're all over here, so everybody's trying to snipe out Manfred. Greasus is coming in for Manfred too, and this could be a turning point in the game. Greasus is an amazing duelist 1v1. All of his problems stem from everything else, but if you actually get him to sit and 1v1 a large target, he will do great damage. Snoblar Trappers shooting at Manfred, Man-Eaters with pistols, Man-Eaters with great weapons surrounding Manfred, and Greasus is here to fight Manfred. Everybody's here to fight Manfred, and if they can kill him, maybe they have a shot in this game, maybe. Things are starting to fall apart a little bit for them, but I guess with no leadership, with no healing, with no caster, maybe you could take them down. And Manfred even has everyone as their price popped onto him. 22 melee attack, he's going down, less than 1,000 HP, he's even starting to crumble. Does get an Invocation to Heck off before that crumbling kicked in, because if you're crumbling, you can't heal yourself. You can't cast Invocation of Heck at all when you're crumbling. Man-Eater pistols are even thrown on guard mode to fire at point-blank range into him. Balance power is turning against the Ogre Kingdom a little bit, but they are going to finish off Manfred in just a second here. Greasus is also thinking about hitting the road, but for now he's still in it. And there's the Tier 3 Ogre army ability where you can get a Butcher, so you don't have to worry about that. As long as he has HP, he could be in it. And it ends. So I messaged Lucinda when he sent me this replay. I think he and Salinator both sent it. I was like, why did you surrender? You were killing, you almost killed Manfred. He was almost dead. You actually could have done it. And he's like, almost killed Manfred? What are you talking about? I got fucking rolled, dude. And I'm like, what? So the replay was scuffed. In the actual game, like, none of that happened. I mean, Salinator or Lucy, if they're in the chat, would have to tell you more. But yeah, the way I described the game happening to him, he's like, no, that shit didn't happen at all. I don't know what you're talking about. I got rolled. So we watched a fake game. We watched a game that didn't happen. A game that, from my opinion, was pretty close, and according to the players, was not close at all. Anyway, Greasus did okay in our version of the thing we saw. Man-Eater pistols did great. Man-Eater's great weapons did not do very well at all. Nobblar Trappers did really well, and Nobblars themselves hung on for dear life. It's an AI auto-sim replayed. Nice. Blood Knights did well. Mortis Engine did fine. Karen Wraiths provided some terror. Skeleton Spears did good as they usually do in this matchup. That's about it. GG. I just find it funny that that one in particular was scuffed, like, really bad. Because the other ones, I largely haven't heard complaints about how they panned out. But that one, not even close. This is another silly one. Again, I only watched to make sure the replay was okay, but even just seeing the build, you might see why I say that. Double Keeper of Secrets. Triple Exalted Demonette versus Vampire Counts. How do you recommend the Ogres deal with the Mortis engine? Man-Eater Pistols. Man-Eater Pistols are a must-have in this and the Lizardmen matchups. You probably want even 3 of them. And you just shoot at it whenever it comes within range. They have a super hard time punishing you in melee, because Man-Eater Pistols are really good hybrid combatants, and zombie summons don't do anything to them. So yeah, Man-Eater Pistols are incredible versus the Mortis engine. Knobbler Trappers can also do okay, but yeah, you mostly just don't want to fight it in melee combat unless you can get it caught in like the Sky Striders without any support whatsoever from the Undead. Like no zombies, no skeleton spears, nothing. If you can just purely 1v1 it, then yeah, do that, but otherwise shooting it. Anyway, for the Forces of Slaanesh, we have the Marquis of Masochism, Keeper of Secrets, Regiment of Renown. They're Bound, Enfeebling Foe, and Phantasmagoria. We have the Keeper of Secrets of Slaanesh with Slicing Shards, Acquiescence, and the Lash of Slaanesh. We have the Princes of Perfection, Devoted Marauders of Slaanesh, Regiment of Renown with their perfect vigor and high stats. Triple Exalted Demonettes, one of which is the Bringers of Beguilement, and double Spawn of Slaanesh. On the other side, for the Vampire Counts, the Devils of Schwarzhofen, the Red Duke, love the Red Duke, then a whole bunch of zombies, 3 Crypt Horrors it looks like, the Claw of Nagash, Mortis Engine Regiment of Renown, the Dire Pack, Dire Wolves with their anti-large, another Corpse Cart with an Unholy Lodestone, a Necromancer on a Corpse Cart, also with the Unholy Lodestone, it appears, and his Forbidden Rod. Claw of Nagash was netted in place by Phantasmagoria, then it was dove on by both Keeper of Secrets, Seductive Glory is popped to try and make it rampage, but it looks like it's not going to, it will just wander away, and now both of these Keepers of Secrets are surrounded by Crypt Ghouls and Spears, and not having a good time whatsoever, so they'll want to try to get out of here if they can. Exalted Demonettes should be slapping through the front line of zombies quite quickly. Though, did one of them die already? Alright, one of them died already, it looks like. We're missing our 3rd Demonette, so... yeah. Rest in peace, Demonettes. Probably got a nice Breath Attack from the Red Duke or something. Marquis of Masochism is getting soloed out very, very nicely here. She is just about dead, and at last the Claw of Nagash is rampaged with Fascination, making it easy prey for the Exalted Keeper of Secrets as she T-poses around it for a bit instead of swinging, which is a big problem for her. There we go. She finally got another attack off. Marquis is gone. One of the Demonettes is gone. Very little to show for it. Bounce power is already favoring the Vampire Counts by quite a bit. The Claw of Nagash still taking more damage, but still pulling away for now. Slicing Shards is cast onto this big old pile of Vampire Counts, but those zombies are summons, and the Crypt Horrors probably won't take very much damage. Still nice to see as the spell is going to hit. Decent damage. Wow. Must have been undercast. I guess it's only 12 Winds of Magic. Okay, that's a little less egregious. Devils of Schwarzhofen are taking a lot of damage, to be fair. Claw of Nagash also takes a nasty shot, and both of them are rampaging right now. But is it going to matter? Doubt. I'm doubting it will matter. Henrietta will finish the Claw of Nagash. Good for you, Henrietta. You fucking did it. And the Exalted Demonettes are still churning through a lot of Undead. The problem is just the full health Red Duke up there. But yeah, Slaanesh is actually powering through a lot of this chaff. And the Exalted Demonettes start crumbling for literally no reason. Okay, goodbye. Whatever. If demonic instability wasn't so punishing, maybe they would have had it, because they were slapping fools in the zombie department. 150 kills in the Bringers of Beguilement. Damn, look at them go. All hope is looking lost for our friends, the Undead. 2 Crypt Horrors and the Red Duke are really the only things that matter, though, on the battlefield. This Corpse Cart and these zombies are getting kind of made mincemeat out of. Narcissism nets the Red Duke in place so that he can't dive in when he wanted to. It means the debuff he placed on Henrietta. No, he didn't place any down, so she just has Ballet of Blows going. It looks like she really wants to finish off the Necromancer, though, before this guy joins the party. Just wants to get rid of another source of corpse card goodness and leadership. She's currently T-posing, just standing there, ominously, threateningly. There you go, buddy. You figured it out. Took you 45 minutes. That might be it. If it took her that long to even swing once at a corpse cart, I have no faith in how the rest of this game is going to go. Henrietta wanders off. She wants to get a nice cycle charge in somewhere, and it looks like the Red Duke is happy to just wait for her to pick a spot so we can go kick her ass. Is the purpose of the stream to show that BEC are still the best faction? They're not the best faction. Not even close. Not even close. They're mid-tier at best. Anyway, Red Duke dives in. He has El Sif down, so she has no melee defense, and she loses that physical resistance she has for being a demon. Meanwhile, he has Acquiescence down, so he has very little stats. And Henrietta is going to try and duel him, running out of Chaos Spawn, running out of everything as Army losses hits and takes out the last hope of Slaanesh. Feels like the game ended a while back. Yeah. I'll bet. Oh, for some reason the replay just says nothing happened. Okay. Okay, replay. I just wanted to see values, but that's fine. All right, another one's down. Going for the Undead sweep. Next is Fat Kid at Recess on Robert Barron versus DJ Kotep, piloted by Go Truck Starbreaker, also previously known as Saber Stragnum. Was this scheduled? I scheduled about an hour and a half ago. Okay. On the side of the Tomb Kings, we have one Nekar Horseman, two Necropolis Knights with triple gold chevrons. We have Grand Hierophant Kotep himself on horseback with his Bound Skullstorm and then his two cheap spells to heal up his whole army. A Necrotect also with his support items for his snaky friends and his heal. 4 melee Ushapti, 4 skeleton spears, though the melee Ushapti are extending way ahead of the spears, just taking damage here from the Hobgoblin Sneaky Gits, a Fat Cat Recess, backed up by Goblin Laborers, Chaos Dwarf Warriors with great weapons, a Magma Cannon, an Iron Demon, 2 Infernal Ironsworn, and 3 Hobgoblin Archers with a Sorcerer Prophet of Hashut in the sky, Curse of Hashut, and the Withering. Oh, he's on a Lamasu. Okay, so he only has the Curse of Hashut, and then the Lamasu has 2 bound spells. Okay. I am worried that the Ushapti are not waiting for their support, but I'm also worried that one side has a Magma Cannon, which got nerfed into the absolute dirt, as it struggles to fire at all. Iron Demon is currently facing the wrong way, so he's not fighting back at all. And I'm saying that too much. I like video games at the $20. Thanks for the stream. Hey man, anytime. Thank you so much for the support. It is really appreciated. In these dark times, Magma Cannon still cannot fire because reasons, and the Iron Demon's trying to fight his way out. The Infernal Ironsworn are coming over to see what they can do about it. But the Sneaky Snakes and the Nekar Horsemen just rolled straight through the back line, disrupted a ton of archers, and got away scot-free. The front line of Goblin Laborers is falling apart as quick as you can spit. I hate that unit. I think I've almost entirely cut them from my builds now when I play Chaos Dwarfs. I think I just go with Chaos Dwarf Warriors or no front line whatsoever. Because Goblin Laborers are such trash. I know they're supposed to be and they're cheap, but I feel like they're bad even for their tiny cost. Regardless, Necropolis Knights on the backfield, down to half HP. Kotep took a little curse of Hashit, but he seems to be okay with it. He seems just fine. These Iron Demons are getting worked down. Balance power is actually slightly favoring the Chaos Dwarves, and we do have 2 Infernal Ironsworn to worry about. I've lost many a game to these guys in the late game where I thought I could take them out, but just could not. Magma Cannon is artificially inflating the balance power, though, because this guy sucks ass, but he has full health and full ammunition, so the game thinks he's going to do something someday. Don't worry. He won't. Magma Cannon with an impressive 350 value is now going to die instantaneously. I know they needed a nerf after their release, but this was way too much. Magma Cannons were utterly destroyed. Anyway, anything with Goblin in the name is routing right now, relying mostly on the 2 Infernal Ironsworn, the 2 Chaos Dwarf Warriors with great weapons, and the Sorcerer Prophet of Hashit to carry. The Iron Demon is dead. The Magma Cannon is dead. It's looking like a toughie. This is a toughie. Lil Trill, I'm sorry you missed it then, but you're here now, and that's what counts. You're here now at the end of the stream as we only have 2 games left. Boo, sad times. The Undead might take another W, unless the Infernal Ironsworn can carry. Put the game on their backs as they rally around the broken carcass of their Iron Demon. I mean, they're trying. Ushopti do have anti-infantry armor piercing, but their anti-infantry only brings them up to 32 melee attack, which against the 64 melee defense of the Infernal Ironsworn is not nearly going to be enough. Kotep and his sneaky snakes still piloting around for now, and he is spamming out spells as quickly as he can to heal them all up, get them back into the fight. Tomb King's army passive should be about expired, and the Ushopti summon is either out already, or it's just waiting in the back wings. I will play it at ×2, as now we're just waiting to see if Infernal Ironsworn and this guy can grind through the entire army. It's looking like no. As a Bound Skullstorm hits a couple guys, then fucks off into the desert. And that is going to be a GG. Ironsworn are routing. Kotep's attempting to get sniped. He does take a fair bit of damage, but it's not enough. Magma Cannon is such ass. It's terrible. It's the worst thing on this planet. And then the Goblin Laborer is instantly routed too. Even with the Chaos Dwarf support, that's how terrible they are. Is even when you try to use that, like, Contempt passive thingy, it just doesn't. It's not enough. They're so fucking bad. Skaven Slaves are flat out better combatants, even when you give them that buff, and that's just not good. Alright. It is a clean sweep so far from the Undead. Can the Lizardmen put a stop to it? With Bulge Chunkles. The Lifelong. Let us see. Oh boy. If I have to cast 4 different games of Lizardmen versus Vampire Counts, that'll be a joy. That'll be a joy. Alright. Let's go. Let's do this. 5 Skink Skirmishers. 5 Saurus Spears. Wow, that's a lot of Saurus. The Cohort of Waddle, Sacred Croxagores. Stillborn Rev Crystal, Clawstone Hunter, Ripperdactyl Riders, a Cold One Spear Rider, and a Life Slawn with Earthblood and Awakening of the Wood. Also, the worst unit in the entire game, Cold One Spear Riders. Alright, Lizardmen lost. GG. G fucking G. It's alright, I didn't want it to be a long stream anyway, fuckers. And before anybody yells at me, I let the players pick whatever factions they wanted as long as it fit the theme. Some of the Undead players switched from Tomb Kings to Vampire Counts. Some of the Undead players switched from Vampire Coast to Vampire Counts. The money players, some of them picked this stuff knowing they'd be fighting Undead. So don't you get mad at me if you're like, whoa, this was horribly unfair. I just gave you whatever fucking factions you wanted to pick as long as they made money. They could have picked hot. No, we're stopping the stream because this has to be dealt with. You know who else makes money? High Elves. No one picked him. You know who else makes money? Empire. No one picked him. You know who else makes money? Fucking Cathay. No one picked him. You know who else makes a ton of money? I don't know, those factions. Also more Lizardmen. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. So you can't get mad at me. You can't be like, you made a rigged, stupid event because you're a rigged, stupid man and everybody hates you. No, no, and no. You're wrong. Anyway. For the Undead, we have zombies, skeleton spearmen. We have 4 crypt horrors, the Claw of Nagash, Mortis Engine, Corpse Card, Unholy Lodestone, the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord, the best Vampire Lord. And then I think I saw 2 Vargheists. Oh, just 1. Nope, 2. There's the other one. What doesn't make money then? I mean, like, greenskins. Greenskins don't make a lot of money. There's a lot of factions that are poor. A lot of the Chaos factions. Nurgle. Nurgle's poor as shit. Anyway. Front line's engaging. I got distracted. What's going on right now? What's happening? Vargheists are flying directly over skinks and getting massacred. We take those. Clawstone Hunters are doing their best. The Claw of Nagash is trying to drain down the Saurus as best it can. But it's going to have to be a little careful. Already an overcasted Invocation and a Heck caused for the Blood Dragon Lord. And he's going to try and land on Chungus, on Bulge Chunkles. We'll see if that works out for him. Vargheists get torn apart by the Clawstone Hunters. And the Lizardmen, so far, doing pretty good. Their Skink Skirmishers are doing a lot of damage. Those guys can pump out more than I ever expect. And Saurus are getting through the Skeletons pretty darn quickly. Actually, things aren't going well at all for the Vampire counts, I have to say. Cold One Spear Riders down to 0 and 4 for melee stats because Helm of Discord got cast on them, and since their stats are so garbagely low, that killed all of it because they're garbage, because I hate you. Fuck you, Cold One Spear Riders. You're the worst unit in the game, and I hate you so much. Every time I take you, it's a mistake, but you're my only anti-large armor-piercing cav. Anyway, Vargheists are trying to chase off the Skink Skirmishers, but there's just too many of them, so they're getting poked down and doing very little in return. It looks like the Ripperdactyl Riders are happy to go over there and see what's up. They don't even feel like they have to defend Bulge Chunkles. The Chunky. They don't feel like they have to defend him at all. Already, the Crypt Horror's healing cap is within sight. Holy shit, that's fast. I don't know what's more impressive, how much damage has been dealt to them in so little time, or how much healing's been done to them in so little time. They're already gonna fucking heal cap at 3.5 minutes into the game. Oh, that's funny. Blood Dragon Lord considers landing onto Mr. Chunkles, but he is in front of 4 skirmish skinks, so he does have to reconsider over there. Earthblood's healing up the lizards as they plow through the vampire counts. And a Vargheist is getting sniped out once again by the Clawstone Hunters with their Toad Rage Pop. They have insane weapon strength, and they will eat these Vargheists alive. Balance power's about dead even, but I'm feeling really good about the Lizard's position in this game right now. Claw of Nagash still trying to slurp, still trying to drain, but it's quickly losing support. And if it actually just gets surrounded by the Corrodive Waddle and Saurus Spears, then it will start taking a lot of damage if it doesn't have any support. Blood Dragon Vampire Lord is trying to land on the Skinks, but a thing I'm noticing over and over again is without, like, dogs or, I guess, dedicated cavalry, these Skinks can just not care. Like, the Blood Dragon Lord doesn't do that much damage to them. The Vargheists don't do that much damage to them if they're walking away. And they're only 400 gold in the first place. They're happy. They're like, yeah, sure, dive us. I don't give a shit. See what happens. Claw of Nagash taking a lot of damage. Blood Dragon Lord has dove in. He is trying to take out the Slaanesh Mage Priest. He's getting good work done. Summon some zombies for a little bit of support so the Mortis Engine can get away and heal up. But more Earthbloods trying to out-heal the vampire counts. Saurus Spears are surrounded a corpse cart on the far side. The Skink Skirmishers are still free and happy to fire in. Here come the Ripperdactyls. All done killing Vargheists. They're here to play now. And the Saurus Spears held, man. Saurus Spears beat up Crypt Horrors, beat up their zombie, beat up their skeleton friends. They didn't give a shit. Would 2 clever girls beat a Cold Spear Rider? Honestly, maybe, but Feral Coldplins aren't that great either anymore. And that is army losses. Lizardmen keeping us in the game. It's not all ogre yet. In a pretty one-sided game, the Lizardmen just slapped them. The Saurus Spear frontline held forever, didn't go anywhere. The Skink Skirmishers did really, really well. Much better than I expected. And it gives me some ideas on how to play this matchup without just using a Shredder heal blob. And there was like a lot of healing, but I would say that this is a rather unblobby build from the Lizardmen. Is it degenerate? Sure. There's a ton of healing. Like, an absolute ton of healing. And there was a bit of a blob formed at one point. But is this the worst they could do? No. No. I have a horrific fucking Shredder of Lustria Mazda Mundi blob that's just no fun for anybody. This was, like, pretty wide. They had 5 Saurus, not in a box, just normal straight line of Saurus. 5 skirmishing skinks, so as far as Lizardmen builds go, this was pretty honorable, and it still looked really crisp. For Longshanks, I mean, his Mortis Engine got good value. His Vargeist just seemed to have a hard time figuring out where to go, and I don't blame him. It's like, well, what do we do? Do we attack Saurus, or I guess chase the kiting guys and take some damage? So it didn't really look like they had a job here. I hate Saurus. I hate them. The sticks were next to the clubs. All right, let's get the blocker up. The blocker is important because now that you know that there's only one survivor, if there's like one more game in my replay file, then you know we go one more game. If there's 5, you know we go 5. So it's important that the blocker stays up now. And how far can it go? Can Coolest Guy actually beat literally everyone? Let's find out. So at this point, how the scheduling went is I just told everybody that was left they could fight Coolest Guy at their leisure. So it was just a scheduling thing. We're not going to have a specific order, though I'm going to cast the games in the orders that they were sent to me. So Salinator, another vampire count on Manfred von Karstein, challenges the Lizardmen next. And the Lizardmen quite expectedly took the exact same build. Copy, paste. And with 4 vampire counts, if Coolest Guy's build really is good versus vampire counts, and it wasn't just like, oh, Longshanks played it badly or like something like that. Like, if it actually is good versus them, he can knock out 4 of the enemy's 6 with the same build. All right. Same exact build from the Lizards we just saw it. On the other side, this attempt has zombies, skeleton spearmen, corpse guard on holy lodestone, a mortis engine, of course, 3 Vargeists that we just saw have a ton of trouble. Now, the players probably didn't compare replays. It's probably not like Longshanks hit him up and said, yo, my Vargeist didn't have very much to do. Be careful of that. Though I am concerned there's 3 of them now. We have 1 Cryptor, a Fellbat, and Manfred von Karstein with Fate of Buna, and then a zombie summon and heal. Fate of Buna will be pretty good, though I wonder if you throw an Earthblood and a Rev Crystal down on the Saurus that he's going to Fate of Buna. I wonder if you can just counteract the healing. Ooh, does this Slaanesh have to shield the old ones? No, he doesn't. Okay, if he had to shield the old ones, that would be epic. Just make him waste his Fate of Buna. That could be brutal. Anyway, Manfred's trying to get something done. The skirmishers are staying in the back, as per last time. The Saurus are sitting here grinding through the front line, and the Life Slaanesh is taking its place in the middle with the cohort of Waddle, once again bumping and grinding, so things look to be largely the same. A little difference is the Clawstone Hunters are trying to piss off Manfred, which last time they just left the Blood Dragon Lord alone and hunted down Vargeists. I did like that better. I really want the Clawstone Hunters to focus up on the Vargeists, because they're just not that good at surrounding and killing a dragon. Maybe if he was netted by, like, Mazda or something. But in this specific instance, if the dragon just walks away, they do so much less work. And look at how great they are against the Vargeists. Like, that's why I want them to fight the Vargeists. They're so good at it. Oh my god. They're killing them instantly. They're also fighting Fellbats. Things are getting a little spicy up here. They might need some support, either Earthblood or Rev Crystal, or just fuck off back to the skirmishers. And some of the skirmishers are sitting out of range, so I will say Coolest Guy not executing this game 2 as cleanly as he executed game 1 so far. Now, that being said, the Clawstone Hunters are still doing great. They've killed 1 Vargeist already. They've almost finished off a Fellbat, and they're now working on the 2nd Vargeist. The 3rd Vargeist is down in the fight already. And if you take out all the Vargeists, there's no dogs, there's no knights here to chase down the Skink Skirmishers, so they will be fine. 1 Skink Skirmisher is routing, but the other ones are going to be okay. And 2 zombie summons are trying to harass them in the backfield. Cold and Spear Riders haven't committed to any fight just yet. I think that's okay. Clawstone Hunter's doing a bit of T-posing. Don't know why. They definitely need to stay in the sky. They need to stay away from that Mortis engine, too, so they're taking free damage right now. Are the Lizard mistakes going to be enough to punish them? Not yet, as we see the same thing happening to the Vargeist's last game as this game, where, like, they just can't chase down these Skink Skirmishers at all. They take way too much damage for doing so. Cold and Spear Riders, will they do more this game? So far, they haven't even tried to do more. And that makes them more impactful. I don't know why the Clawstone Hunters have landed, because they're just getting Mortis Engine right now. I know they want some healing, but I don't have to take the damage for free. Cold and Spear Riders trying to move through zombies right now. They haven't had to do anything. Skink Skirmishers, a ton of ammunition left. A lot of models on all of them. They do need to just move back in. Move back in with their parents. Karen Wraiths are not getting through the Saurus front line. Armor Piercing's neat, but your melee stats are really low, and Saurus don't even have that much armor. They just have a giant health pool and really jacked stats. Looks like things are running out of time. The cohort of Waddle are holding on with the aura of Pretzels and Cold-Blooded, making sure they have nice stats and good leadership. Rev Chris is trying to heal them up too, though that will leave the Clawstone Hunters out in the cold. Or will they? A regrowth onto the Stildon. Oh, this time he got a regrowth instead of Awakening of the Wood. That's smart. I hate Awakening of the Wood. It's a bad spell. Cool. Yeah, I do think letting the Clawstone Hunters just dive into the central fight and die. I think that was a bit of a mistake, but overall it doesn't seem too punishing as the Lizards are just schooling the vampire counts right now. Also, the Skirmishers were a little slow in the draw. Karen Wraith's getting taken out as the Cold One Spear Riders start charging through stuff. And the counts are about running out of gas. I'll fast forward unless something crazy happens. This is looking like a GG. Manfred's trying to save the situation, but his overcasts are hurting him, as are a bunch of skirmishers. He dives in for one last play, but it is too late, and he is doomed. That is 2 for the Lizardmen on the board. Gloss Hunters and the Court of Huddle doing great. Cold and Spear Riders, 400 impressive value. Just amazing stuff. And the Skink Skirmishers did fine. Saurus Spears did fine, though I will say the Skink Skirmishers were definitely much more lazy this round on the micro. They didn't get brought back after being chased for a bit. Now, one thing I have to remember before being too critical is the replays have gone pretty smooth, but I have to remember that it's maybe not exactly what happened. Technically. So maybe those skinks actually did die. Maybe. All right. Ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to alarm you. But he's fighting another vampire count. In a Rainy Frog. Vlad von Karstein. Can he stop the Chungus? It's just vampire counts versus lizards. That's the rest of the stream. I know there's only 4 vampire counts players. He's already killed 2 of them, but the other 2 players also switched to vampire counts. That's all vampire counts. All right. Almost the same exact build, though 2 of the Saurus Spears lost their shields, and I don't know why that was. I'm wondering where the money was spent that made that worthwhile. I don't see it, so I don't know why the lizards all of a sudden have less shields. On the other side, we have zombies, skeleton spearmen, some Graveguard at last, Vlad von Karstein, a Mortis Engine, 2 Blood Knights, and a Terror Goose. The Bristol Orienteering Club. Can the Terror Goose make an impact? I don't know. And I don't hate the Graveguard, even if they don't have great weapons, because, like we mentioned, Saurus don't actually have that much armor. They have 60, so they have armor, but it's not like you're dealing with Dwarves or anything. So just having the anti-infantry at all could be okay. Vlad saw his child get beaten up and decided to have a go at it himself. Vlad would not be upset at all that Manfred got his ass kicked, though. And I know you didn't say he was upset. You said he would have a go at it, and that's fair. But I am just pointing out, for those who don't know, Vlad would be like, good, fuck that guy. Manfred can eat my ass. All Alright, Blood Knights are stuck fighting against the Clawstone Hunters and the Cold and Spear Riders. If they don't get any support whatsoever, they will be chewed up, eaten alive. But they're trying to fight back for now, and they honestly could do okay. They're trying to leave. Hey, Invocation Hack. Cool. Cool, good for them. Mortis Engine and Vlad attempt to duel the Chungus himself, who has gotten separated from the Court of Waddle and surrounded by Blood Knights. Oh, he's taking a lot of damage. Little mini, tiny, teeny weeny little breath attack there from the Terrorgeist. That didn't do shit. And the Slaanesh is now having to regrowth himself, but he's taking a lot of damage for this. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Now, one Blood Knight has been taken out by these guys, but I would trade a Blood Knight for a Life Slaanesh any day of the week, who's also getting, with his regrowth, he's also getting a Rev Crystal charge. The Terrorgeist has dove in, everyone's trying to kill the Slaanesh, and the cohort of Waddle are pushing their way through all these Blood Knights to try and get to their boss, who is terror routing now. He's running! Though actually the Terror Out might save his life as it pushes him back into his Sore Spears, and what was a very scary situation has become a little more stabilized for our friends the Lizardmen. As the full health Blood Knight leaves the blob fight and instead catches the Clawstone Hunters on the ground, it looks like they got the charge this time, because they're doing really good work into fighting a 2v1. Skink Skirmishers are also poisoning them down, so those Blood Knights do have a lot on their plate at this moment. But the cohort of Waddle are also getting worked over by the Graveguard and Vlad and this Terrorgeist, the Mortis Engine. Okay. Okay, signs of life from the Vampire Counts, you guys. Now, the Skink Skirmishers are all still 5 healthy, which is bad. Blood Knights are running out of HP. They even have to retreat into their own zombies to get away from these guys. And the Clawstone Hunters and the Cold and Spear Riders, it's not like they don't have any healing on their roster either, so their damage is not permanent. Which could be a concern. If both Blood Knights are dead, then you have nothing to deal with these Skink Skirmishers, who, I guess, to be fair, have used a lot of their ammunition. Well, some of them have. Some of them haven't. Some of them don't give a fuck. Everyone hates him, not me, though. I think he's pretty cool. He caused the end of the world! Anyway, Overcast Invocation Hack from your boy Vlad. Heals up the Graveguard, heals up some other stuff. Looking like the last of the Blood Knights did officially die. The Mortis Engine is still slurping away as best it can, though it's currently not in combat. It's not actually hitting these Clawstone Hunters. Now it is. And the Terrorgeist's taking a lot of damage, but so is that Slaanesh Mage Priest. He has been put through the ringer this game. And man, that Mortis Engine is inconsistent about hitting anything. You can see up here that it's not actually hitting. Now it is, now it isn't. Which is brutal. If the Mortis Engine ain't slurping, this baby ain't burping. Kanye West, 2025. Terrorgeist is pushed off, crumbling slowly, even thinking about disintegrating. The Clawstone Hunters are going to chase him. Graveguard in the backfield getting run down by Cold and Spear Riders. Another regrowth for the Slaanesh Mage Priest, and that'll leave us with just the Mortis Engine and Vlad, which is not enough, I don't think. And what started well for the Vampire Counts went poorly because of Kanye West. Fucking Kanye, dude. He's always doing this shit. Vlad now has to fight it out all on his own. I will play at ×3 speed unless something crazy happens. And army losses, I guess, counts as something crazy. Game 3 of Vampire Counts is down. Do I see game 4? Terrorgeist and Vlad did okay. Blood Knights really struggled. Mortis Engine did fine. Graveguard did okay. Spears did okay. And zombies got murdered. For coolest guy, his Life Slaanesh survived being sniped forever. Cold and Spear Riders and Clawstone Hunters getting crazy good value, and Sore Spears doing darned well. That was not the game I recalled. Rainy Frog? I know some of the replays were scuffed due to the patch, Rainy Frog. I know, buddy. Hey, look at me. You gotta be strong. You gotta be strong. And if you aren't strong, then you're the plot of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's officially here. Game 4 versus Vampire Counts. It's only Vampire Counts. It's the only faction we get to watch. Coolest guy versus Vampire Counts, led by Slaanesh, and they have guns now, but it's still the Vampire Counts. So get ready for that. All the replays from this point on are on the new patch, the hot fix, so there's not any replay jank we can blame it on. For the build against the Vampire Counts, it's Clawstun Hunters, it's Ripperdactyl Riders, it's 5 Skink Skirmishers, it's 5 Sword Spears. It's a Life Slawn, ladies and gentlemen. It's the same build because it's the same matchup because everything's the same and nothing's changed. Oh, there's 4 Ripperdactyl Riders, changing it up a little bit. It's Vampire Pirates here. I know. I'm doing a bit. Just let me do the bit. Don't correct me. Just let me do the bit. On the other side for the Vampire Counts, we have Slaanesh with her Fog of the Damned and Tide Call. Then we have some animated Hulks. Same shit. Then we have a bunch of pistol mobs, some halberd mobs. Same shit. The Black Spot, more handguns, 2 mortars, 2 dogs, and then some Rotting Promethean gunnery mobs and a basic Rotting Promethean. But wait a second! That can't be the Vampire Counts because this army has halberds. No Vampire Counts army has halberds for some reason. Don't know why. There's no Graveguard with halberds variant. Oh no, Rainy Frog. Don't retire yourself from life. That seems insane. Alright. So yes, it is the Coast. We are switching it up. But if the Coast can't defeat them, it is all on the Tomb Kings or the last of the Vampire Counts. Though we have seen the Vampire Counts seem to have a real hard time dealing with this specific build. The approach of the Lizardmen is going rough, as things usually go versus Skaven or Vampire Coast or anybody with a ton of shooting. You are going to lose a lot of units on the advance, but the Ripperdactyls are coming in now. Unfortunately, they're also taking a lot of damage as the Clawstun Hunters are already down to about half HP. Other Ripperdactyls are in, though, and they're trying to stop the Bombers from getting onto the Saurus. If the Saurus can get into melee and not get bombed to death, they can carry this whole game. Saurus can grind through a lot of Vampire Coast units. Another gunnery mob, this one, it's a pistol mob, is under attack, and the Ripperdactyls are onto the mortar teams. The Clawstun Hunters are surrounded and really taking a lot of damage. A regrowth is trying to save them, and a Cold-Blooded keeps their leadership up for now, but they are unfortunately fighting to the death. Skink Skirmishers are scrapping with these animated Hulks. They're harassing as we have seen them do so often. I am really liking these 400 gold little guys. I think they're a neat piece that I'll probably have to start using when I play Lizardmen myself. The mortar teams are saved by the dogs and the Lamprey's Revenge. And Ripperdactyl's going to finish off this pistol mob, probably move up to the other pistol mob, or maybe the Black Spot, not super sure. The Black Spot are facing backwards, they're trying to shoot these Ripperdactyls, but it looks like they've been obstructed because they've gotten no value out. And Slaanesh Damn Ninth Errant Summon is here, which is spooky, it's scary, it causes terror, it does full armor piercing, all that stuff, but if the Lizardmen can withstand it, if the Lizardmen can heal up, time is on their side. So the longer this game goes on, the better it is for the Lizardmen. Now that mortar team is dead. Dogs are fading away, and a ton of damage onto this Ripperdactyl. Oh my god. Oh, the handgun mob got shots off on him. Okay, that's no pistol mob. That's a full-on handgun mob. The Ripperdactyls are trying to hold on. Saurus have cleaned their way through the first rows, and they now need to move onto the backfield. And Solostra is still sniping out our Slawn Mage Priest friend. She has a... She doesn't have chill or frostbite or whatever, so I guess he won't get slowed. Okay. But yeah, he's got Saurus support now. He's got healing. He's fine. And the Damn Knights Errant are ripping through the Skink backline. But once again, they have a very limited time on this Earth. 30 seconds left, and they're killing Skinks. As long as your Slawn survived, you're pretty happy with that. But oh no, the Black Spot firing in onto the Slawn. He's very tall. He has no one to block for him whatsoever. It looks like he's getting an Armor of Quetzal onto himself now. Song of Enthrallment will slow him, but he's desperately trying to path his way out of here. Get away from the Black Spot. Just get out of this situation entirely. The Saurus are still pushing up. Balance of power is getting pretty bad for the Lizardmen, but I'm not so sure. This mortar team is about to crumble to dust. Even if the Clawstun Hunters are peeled off, they'll still crumble away. Saurus are pushing through a lot of things. The Lizards have a ton of healing, and those Damn Knights Errant are gone. Your big problems are going to be the Lamprey's Revenge and the Black Spot. But if the Slawn can get to safety, yeah, he's got a regrowth onto himself. He'll be okay. But there's no Rev Crystal. That would offer a lot more healing here, but still the Saurus are chewing through a lot of stuff. That Rotting Promethean is not the Lamper's Revenge, so it won't passively heal itself up. And Celestra obviously has no healing whatsoever for her army, so really the only thing that's going to regenerate at all is the Lamper's Revenge. Slann looks like he's still fighting it out, even though he's like right next to the black spot. I am very surprised he has stayed in this area at all. Skink Skirmishers are starting to rally in the distance. Lizardmen still down the bounce power by quite a lot. And the black spot once again firing in. And I don't know why he's taking this fight right in front of him. He's got to send someone after the black spot, or he's got to get out of here entirely. But the Slann is sitting right in front of those guys. Now, thankfully for him, the black spot are actually targeting his Saurus, which he's perfectly fine with. But he shouldn't still be here, is my main concern. Another Fog of the Damned is out, lowering everybody's leadership. And now the Black Spot are targeting the Life Slann, who is still trying to heal up a little bit with Earthbloods. But like I said, dude, he has to move out of here. And this one you can't blame on, like, the patch or the hotfix, the replays bug. This is on this patch. This is how the replay went. He does need to move. He starts moving now. He is serpentining a little bit with his little toad body. Sora's taking some damage. They might tear out from Celestris. Fog of the Damned and Song of Enthrallment and Charmed lower their melee attack to 0. Yeah, that's a lot of lowering. In the backfield, by the way, the Lamper's Revenge are casually taking half their HP and damage, which is kind of insane. This pistol mob's still fighting. The black spot's still fighting. Skinks are closing in on them, though, and Saurus are terror routing. And once again, the longer this goes, the more it benefits the Lizardmen if they can keep healing up their Saurus, if they can keep getting the Vampire Coast to crumble in certain areas, if they can keep getting the ammo out of their Skinks, they'll be just fine. The Slann is coming back, though he's once again walking into the range of the black spot. And the black spot have been allowed to do way too much this game. That is a mistake I'll call out from the Lizardmen player, is they needed to send something after the black spot, or not sit in it so much. Lamper's Revenge still continuing to get kited. Nice Tide Call plus a charge from her onto the Saurus Spears. If they haven't been terror routed recently, they will terror out now. But it looks like they're going to be fine. They're waddling up to the black spot. And Slann is blinking on leadership. There's an Earthblood, but his Saurus Spears fuck off. And the Skink Skirmishers are still annoying the Lamper's Revenge. Finally, some Saurus find their way onto the black spot, and this pistol mob is crumbling, which means they don't even have to dedicate forces to it to kill it off. But the Slann's taking a lot of damage from the Lamper's Revenge. He can't be taking this fight. They've been a little too cavalier with their Slann. Like, look at these Saurus and Skinks that are pushing up. Like, this is going so well for you, but the Slann's going to tear out, and then that causes your balance of power to spike down. Yeah, the Lizardmen are defeated. Damn. I feel like they could have done it, but just a couple really key mistakes with the Slann, where he just, like, let him get shot for so long, for so much health. Ripperdactyls did okay. They did okay. They're necessary, but they're not going to get a ton of value. Saurus did great. Skink Skirmishers did well. Slann did alright. Damn. Celestra did really well. Lamper's Revenge did quite nicely. The Black Spot got pretty darn good value. Mortars and other handguns also did very nicely. Dogs and pistol summons did alright. So it's GG. It's a GG. It's Bookover. It is. It is. Lizardmen had an impressive run. And in a very close game versus Patrick / Sipa, however you want to refer to him. It was not enough. And Bulge Chunkles falls. He falls. I have been pinged. Why? Oh, okay. Tournament started. Cool. But yeah, that'll be it. The Undead remain on their thrones. I will do another one of these versus the Undead until somebody unseats them, but I'll probably wait a couple weeks till patch 4.1 is out. So that's what we got for today. Nice short stream, as it is when you just cast replays and stuff. It's only an hour long. This week we have some more streams coming up for you guys. Friday, we have the North American time zone Rat Ogre tournament. Then Saturday, we have the Battle of the Atlantic. And then Sunday, we have a bingo event. The stream for that will probably just be some replays. So it'll be a little chill for us, but it's a fun event. So 3 streams the next 4 days for you guys. And then hopefully patch 4.1 comes out next week or the week after, for the love of God. We didn't even get to see DJ Kotep? Yes, you did. Chaos Dwarfs versus Tomb Kings. It was 2 Necropolis Knights fighting against a Magma Cannon and an Iron Demon. What shall the next team be? I don't know. Depends on the patch. Depends on the patch. I don't want to do... I've been trying to... I try to use these events to encourage more off-meta stuff. Like, I didn't want to do demons because Zinch is everywhere. I didn't want to do humans because Kislev and Grand Cathay are everywhere. Elves, I worry about Dark Elves because Dark Elves are just so common and so boring. And then High Elves are also quite common, but it's mostly just Imric and a Life Caster. So I guess if you didn't do Imric, maybe it could be more interesting, but I imagine it might just be a Prince on a Star Dragon with a Life Caster. And it's like, wow, is that really that different? So I kind of want to wait for patch 4.1 and just see what the new meta can bring and see if we can get some new exciting stuff, because, like, yeah. Because it's pretty clear the off-meta factions just aren't going to be strong enough to beat the Undead unless I do some player mismatches. Like, oh, let's just get Alfredino, Razel, Void Lulls, and, like, Strat Game on the left-hand side and slap the shit out of them and get this over with, but that's not really entertaining. I do try and grab the same number of veteran versus new players for each side, so it's at least a little fair skill-wise, but yeah. I think to beat the Undead, we might have to go a little too sweaty try-hard meta, and I don't really feel like doing that. So I'll just wait till patch 4.1 comes out. Short stacks. The last one we did was the Underway, and that already had Dwarves and Chaos Orbs in it. Do you really want Nurgle versus Vampire Counts to be our stream? Is Void Lulls back off probation? Nah, fuck that guy. Nah, dude. All right. Later, taters.